What's up, guys? It's your boy EW Lee, aka Corrupt Alpha, back out with another video. And today, I'm doing something a little different, right? As you can see, I am playing NBA 2K25, but that's not the main focus of this video. The main focus of this video is a story time, right? I saw my boy deal with this the other day, um, and he was just like, you know what? And he was like, yeah, this is funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like a whole story time. I'm like, story time. I started thinking about, I'm just like, I could post this on my YouTube. You feel me? Since he likes, I'm pretty sure there might be somebody else out there that might like this story time as well. So that being said, this is story time a couple years back. Um, about the time I had went to the movies with one of my boys, Preston. Right, Preston. You feel me? I've known him since what about shit second grade. You know what I'm saying? Been a long time. You feel me? Um, what's going on? 8 years now that I've known Preston. So pretty long time. We known each other since, like I said, second grade, but we didn't really start becoming cool till about fourth. And just ever since we was cool, we just never we drifted apart every now and then, but we always come back, and we're always back cool, like stronger than ever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. With that being said, though, this is like before we started drifting apart the first time, and I'm sitting over here and I can't catch a damn rebound. I'd love to see it. We're sitting over here and we're like, hey, let's go watch a movie, right? I don't really remember what movie we went to watch, but it was a movie that Preston wanted to watch. I was semi interested in it, and we were basically just going there to see if we could do it too, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of females go to movie theaters. We didn't really take this into account. A lot of females go to movie theaters, yeah, but they usually go with their boyfriends. So he was just like coming with that idea. I was just like, well, most, females come with like he said, their boyfriend and like one other friend, like a third wheel. So if we have to go look for two separate third wheels, so it's not really a two man, it's just a looking at the same day. You feel me? Like I said, this was some years back. Maybe not all the brain cells were forming, the right way because it was a dumb idea. But yeah. Anyways, we're walking. We get our ticket and we start walking back, and this worker stops me. Right? He's got long, kind of blonde, but also kind of looks like a dirty blonde, but also looks like he could have been like a redhead or something. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like his haircut looked really cool, honestly. When he stops us, and I've seen him before work there, but never doing this. He's like doing has a little janitor bucket, like he's doing janitorial work. Which hey, get your bag to him. You feel me? Do what you got to do. You feel me? But he's doing that, and I'm wearing a Tupac shirt. I'll never forget this. I'm wearing uh, some school shorts that I got from school from playing football. They're a gray color. I'm wearing some slides. I'm wearing oh no, take it back. I'm not wearing some slides. I'm wearing some Nike Dunks, some Dunk Highs, right? Panda Dunk Highs, so they looked atrocious, right? And I'm wearing a white Tupac shirt. It's a white Tupac shirt with Tupac's in black, right? This dude stops me. He's like, hey, he was like, you're a fan of Tupac? I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm a pretty big fan of him. He's like, oh, what's your song? What's your favorite song by him? I was like, probably probably loyal to the game. And he kind of looked at me. He's like, what? I was like, loyal to the game. He was like, you know that song? I'm like, yeah, it's probably my favorite one. I was like between loyal to the game and what's the other song? Picture Me Rolling. Ain't that the song? Let's see. I think it's Picture Me Rolling. I want to make sure I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's Picture Me Rolling. So he's like, I didn't know, you know, somebody your age would know that song. Cause, granted, I'm like, shit, I don't know, 12 at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably like 12, and I just said this random Tupac song that came out after Tupac's death, but it still had, it was still a Tupac song. Don't get me wrong. It sounded just like Tupac. Not maybe not as aggressive, so maybe it was recorded towards the later end of his life. You know what I'm saying? But He's like so confused, like, oh, he was like, oh, and then he gets into it. He's like, oh, he was like, yeah, I love '90s rap and this and that, and I'm just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. He's like, who's your favorite artist from the '90s? I was like, probably Tupac, to be honest with you. He's like, got any new favorite artists? I'm like, yeah. I like newer rap more than '90s rap. He's like, oh, and he kind of like looked all disappointed and shit. Like I done fucking said his mother had cancer or something. Like I'm sitting here, I'm just telling him like, yeah, I like new rap better than old rap. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, my young apprentice, why would you say such a thing? Like I'm seriously, I'm fucking confused. I'm just like, Tony, all I did was say I like new rap. I was just like, Tony, is that a problem? And he was like, but you like Tupac though. I'm like, yeah. He was like, that's one of your favorite rappers. And I was like, yeah. At the time, Tupac was probably maybe my top five. Maybe I doubt it, top five. He's in my top 10, 100%. Uh, and he was just like, oh. He was like, but you know who's bigger or who's better than Tupac? And I look at him like, I'm like, who? And in a fucking in a movie scene, out straight out of the damn movies when they do a big ass reveal. He has the janitorial station. He drops it, not drops it, but like pushes it to the side, pushes his bucket and mop to the wall, and I'm thinking this nigga is about to like fucking pull the bucket and mop out, like he's about to fucking hit me with it and be like, "You fucking done? You like new rap, huh? You fucking you idiot." You know what I'm saying? But no. And then he has a Nike Tech on. I never forget this. He has a dark blue Nike Tech, a dark blue some sweatpants, like a tracksuit sweatpants, and the same exact shoes that I was wearing, right? Um, and he's like, he's like knows better than Tupac. Unzips his Nike Tech, and he's like Biggie, and I see this Biggie small shirt that's like oversized. Like I would say it's like too oversized. Like he's a skinnier dude, right? He's a pretty skinny dude, and I wear like a large. It looks like he's wearing like a large or a double XL. You know what I'm saying? Where he should be wearing like a medium. You know, or not maybe not double XL, XL. You feel me? Or he should be wearing like a medium or something. Like it looked a little oversized on him. The short was kind of big. Kind of looked like he had to like scrunch it up to fit it inside his fucking Nike Tech. He was like Biggie, and then he just walks away like on a fucking movie scene. Just walks away like zips his jacket up. And my boy Preston looks at me as he's walking away, and I'm just like no, no, no. And Preston busts out laughing. Right? Can't take Preston as anywhere. He just busts out laughing. I'm the whole time I'm sitting here like, damn, bro, this nigga probably heard us laughing, right? And then as we're walking to our like the actual theater, like what do you call those things? Like the actual where you actually go to sit down and watch the movie. You feel me? Twin. We go to there and we see him like walking back, like kind of like scrambling, walking back because he forgot the damn janitorial bucket and shit. I see it. Preston doesn't see it, but he starts joking about it. And Preston does some weird shit. He was like, he was like, I ain't gonna lie. He's like, I like Marshawn Lynch, but you know who's better at football? And he fucking lifts up his jersey, he's like, me. And I'm like, all right, good. He's just joking at that point, right? And we joking about the movie theater. Everybody giving us weird looks because Preston laughed loud as hell. Like he got the squeak ass laugh, and he laughed loud as hell, right? So everybody trying to get in the side eyes and movie theater. I'm like, Preston, shut the fuck up. Come on, cuz we about to get kicked out this bitch because you don't shut your big ass up. Mind you, Preston like 6 feet. All right, right now Preston about 6'2", 6'3". Preston's probably about 5'10" to 6 feet at this point, like, right? So pretty big dude, and you just see this big dude giggling like a little ass girl. You feel me? Everybody giving us side eyes and wondering what the fuck going on. How could somebody so big and black be screaming like be laughing like a little ass white girl? You know what I'm saying? But that happens. We watched the movie. I don't even remember what movie it was. I guess it was good. Like I said, I don't even fucking remember. And as we walking out, we see dude again. He's like, "Did you like your movie?" And we're like, "Yeah, yeah, it was cool. We liked it." And then me and him getting this like heated debate about like who's the greatest rapper of all time. He's like, "Who do you think's the greatest rapper of all time?" I was like, "Probably Lil Wayne." He was like, Little Wayne, Little Wayne, ugh. But no, for real, he was like Little Wayne. He's like, nah, and he was just like, you know who I think's the greatest rapper of all time? I'm like, I said, look, dude, you don't got to unzip your shirt. He was like, ha ha ha, Biggie, and I'm just like, yeah, no shit. And I was just like, he was like, but you said you listen to new rap. What do you listen to? I was like, I like Juice World. He was like, Juice World? Didn't he just die? I'm like, no, he died a couple years ago. I'm just like, yeah. He's like, oh. He's like, yeah, he's too new for me. Like, we're not talking about your favorites. We're talking about mine here, you fucking dunce. So I really don't give a shit. You know, like, I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but like, you can't ask me who my favorite is and be like, ugh, too new for me. I couldn't dabble. You know what I'm saying? So I say Juice World. He's like, who else you like? I'm like, I mess with like Kendrick. You know, I was really big into X. I said X. He was like, oh, I like X. I was like, so X, so Juice is too new for you, but X isn't. They were just like 2 years apart when it comes to like when they actually started rapping. I was just like X started rapping like 2014, Juice started rapping like 2016. So like that's not a big difference at all. You know what I'm saying? But the Juice is too new for you somehow. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But I wasn't gonna argue with a grown ass man in the middle of the fucking Malco. And we started talking about. He was like, yeah. He was like, I don't listen to much outside of '90s rap. And I was like, you fuck with J Cole or Kendrick or uh, something like that. Yeah, he was like, they're good, but you know, this and that. And I was like, what about Kendrick? You think Kendrick's, you know, like the goat? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody at this point, everybody's talking about Kendrick the goat. I wasn't a big fan of Kendrick at the time. He was like, nah, Kendrick's also too new for me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Too new? The nigga came out with Section 80 in 2011. Was rapping at like 2007 to 2009. Like that's when he first started rapping. And somehow that's too new. I was just confused all around. So I was just like, all right. He was like, yeah. He was like, you know, if I had to put it, you know, top three greatest rappers of all time, I had to put like Biggie at one, of course, just because he was so good. And you know what I'm saying? Then I had to put Nas up there, and then maybe Tupac, but you know, Tupac's washed compared to Biggie. I'm just like, all right. And I'm like getting pissed off slowly, and I'm trying to be disrespectful. He was like, yeah, he was like, Biggie was big for his time, and I was like, he was big in real life too, you know, and like fat as hell. Just trying to rage bait, you feel me? Just trying to piss dude off. He's like, ah, for real, you know what I'm saying? He was a little obese. And I'm like, niggas just sitting here laughing. I'm trying to stop the conversation. That's why I'm trying to piss him off. And dude's just sitting here, just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Biggie's the goat, right? Like, after I just said I don't like Biggie's music, I was like, you know what? I don't like Biggie's music that much. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I only listen to like two songs. Liz. He was like, what two songs? It was like, uh, I listened to Juicy, and I listened to that one song. I was like, I forgot the name of it, right? It's Suicidal Thoughts by Biggie, but I at the time I didn't know the name of it, so I started rapping it. When I die, I want to go to hell. Like I started doing that, you know what I'm saying? And dude's like, what? I don't know that Biggie song. He's like, that's Biggie song, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me the biggest fucking like I didn't say this to his face, but I just you know think about this, you know, you're telling me the biggest fucking Biggie Glazer I haven't seen in my whole lifetime doesn't even know Suicidal Thoughts. That got very popular on what was it like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. A lot of people started posting it to like Biggie and stuff like that. And this is 2021, 2022, so this is like prime TikTok. You know what I'm saying? This is when TikTok really got big. And you're telling me you don't know what that song is. I was like, what the fuck? And the dude's just like, yeah, yeah, I don't. He was like, yeah, I don't know that song. He was just like, you sure that's by Biggie? I'm like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure. He's like, oh, and I was like, oh, you don't know that song? And I kind of like, you know, did a little, you know, bully tactic. You know what I'm saying? Of oh, you don't like that song? How do you not know that song? How do you not know that song at all? How do you not like that song if you don't know? Like, you know, doing that. Dude, low key seemed embarrassed. I kind of felt bad at one point because I was just like, he seems embarrassed that he doesn't know a Biggie song. He's the biggest Biggie enthusiast ever, and uh, at that point, I'm just like, yeah, well, anyways, I gotta go. You know, see you later or something like that. He was like, okay, see you. And he's like all depressed and shit because he didn't know a fucking Biggie song. And I'm just like, and before I continue the story, he is a regular dude. He did not see like he was mentally impaired at all. Nothing was wrong with him mentally. He kind of looked like a stoner. So maybe he was high. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was high, and you feel me. That's why he didn't know suicidal thoughts or why he was acting like that. Other than that, I wouldn't know. But he did seem mentally there. He just seemed like Biggie was like the second coming of Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And every time I go to the movie theater, I see him every now and then. Working the tickets or just walking around, stuff like that. I'm not really sure like what his job actually is there because it seems like he does everything. He's a jack of all trades type of dude. You feel me? And he's just sitting there and he's working or whatever. And I came in with the Biggie shirt, the one Biggie shirt I own. I decided to wear it this one day because it went with the outfit. He was like, "Oh, Biggie Smalls fan, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, he's my favorite rapper too." And this was like last year, so I don't think he remembered me from 2 years ago. But I tell you right now, every single time I go to the movie theater, I see if I can find dude because he seems cool. He just seems like he's just the biggest Biggie glazer ever. And I just like was rage baiting him the whole time, and he wasn't even getting pissed off, which is why I think he might have been a little, a little zooted and booted. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I was there, because it's like he would not get mad at anything to him at all. The whole time I'm trying to rage bait him, just like, yeah, Biggie doesn't have any good music for real. Like he has a couple good songs. What? Huh? What? Like no, Biggie's like the greatest of all time. He was like, it's if you had to put it in a tier list, Biggie's like here, and then everybody else is like so far below him. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to skip a whole tier before you get to anybody else. 'Cause that's how good Biggie is. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? He's just like he's arguing with me, but he's not getting pissed off about it at all. He's just like trying to state his case more passionately. I'm like, dude, I get it, I understand. I'm just I don't want to have this conversation with somebody in a fucking movie theater about who's bigger or who's better, Biggie or fucking Tupac. I was like, this is not. I'm not enjoying my movie right now. Damn it, this is not the movie going experience that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I see him every now and then. This last time I was wearing the Biggie shirt, he was like, "Ah, Biggie's a good rapper." He was like, "You like Biggie?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was just like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh yeah, Biggie's my favorite rapper." Or he's like a Biggie fan, and he was like, Biggie's my favorite rapper," and I was like, "Yeah, type shit, cool." Or didn't even say anything else. I was like, "Yeah, type shit, cool." And I seen him before that too, but I don't think he really saw me. I just saw him walking around and stuff like that. So yeah, just a very funny experience that every single time I go to the movies, I have a flashback of PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Of the fucking the Biggie Goober troop. You know what I'm saying? The Biggie Assault troop. So, anyways, with that being said, if y'all like these form videos, these story time telling videos over gameplay, or if y'all just want more story time videos in the future, let me know something for sure. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.